Hey everyone. Got such a sore throat today. I don't know where it came from. I've had it for the past couple of days. So, yeah. Where have we been then? What have we been doing? Well, first of all, weather in Belfast has been freezing. So cold. So cold that I've not been able to get into the garage to actually do any of my exercise. I know that sounds like a poor excuse to just not exercise, but if you've watched these videos in the past, you'll know that I love my exercise. I love my boxing, I love my running, and yeah, it's literally like a freezer. Now I know there's some people from all over the world that are watching this, and when I say, yeah, we're hitting temperatures of -5, they're probably going to go, that's nothing, Carl. I appreciate that. The weather's been pretty mad worldwide. I think there's a lot of people in parts of Europe and even in London and things that have got worse weather than we've had. So, but anyway, it's still cold for me to get out into that garage and do any exercise at the moment. I would normally have done some weightlifting, but unfortunately, whenever I'm lifting weights, it causes a bit of an issue for me in kind of an unmentionable place, so not at the front either. So I'm not going to go into too much detail. So rather than that happen, I kind of found a bit of a trend of whenever I was doing weightlifting, there was a particular issue. I've been avoiding that for now and sticking to running and boxing because they don't seem to damage me in that way. Anyway, let's move swiftly along. So it was Valentine's Day this weekend, and it was a funny one again this year. Like last year, it's been a funny one. We're fast approaching our year anniversary of locking down. So we also have done so many special things, not just for me and the wife, but also with the girls as well. And so it's kind of felt like Christmas and special days were only a couple of weeks ago or even a week ago, you know. So what we did was we were just going to get a sort of fancy meal deal thing, you know. Some of the shops and supermarkets here do these things where it's a starters, a main meal, a dessert, and a bottle of wine for for a certain amount, you know, nice little price, get a nice meal and things. But we watched a program recently and they were talking about cheese, and I know it sounds strange, but both me and my wife sort of looked at each other and we were like, you know, I've never tried a real cheese before, like a real from a cheesemonger. We've had your classic mix of cheeses from the supermarket, you know, own brand sort of cheese. Even when they declare, you know, it's our Tesco finest or whatever, it's not real cheese as such. It's kind of mass produced. So yeah, we watched this program and we thought, yeah, that's really awesome. And they talked about it being something that people could do for Valentine's Day. And the people on the program, a couple of them laughed, but me and the wife sort of looked at each other and were like, that's great, yeah. So I got in touch with a cheese company here, the Artisan Cheesemonger, and asked them about some cheeses, and it turned out that they were actually putting a Valentine's box together of cheese. So that's what I ordered, and on Saturday, no, it was Friday actually, yeah, Friday, a special delivery in a chilled van, our box of cheese came, and so what we did was on Saturday we decided we were going to have our Valentine's then, and the reason being because me and the wife are off this week and we're going to be decorating and redecorating our bedroom. and we were gonna have a few cheeky drinks. And you know, nothing worse than trying to decorate and do things like that if you've got a hangover. So what we decided was have the cheese, have a bit of booze on Saturday, and then Sunday, if we are hungover, cool, we chill out, which means that by the time we get to Monday, we're ready to rock with the bedroom. So yeah, the cheeses were amazing. It was the first time I've ever tried real truffle. Yeah, one of the cheeses had all truffle going all the way through it. So initially when we ate it, we were like, oh, that's a bit garlicky, but it was something a little more than garlic. You know, I'd never tasted anything like it. So I sort of looked, and we had a look online, and they sort of confirmed that, yeah, there is a bit of a garlic flavour to truffle, but it was lovely. There was also a sort of standard cheddar cheese, which was really just tasty. There was a brie, which we were a little bit afraid of, to be honest. It's not the first cheese that we go jumping in to get whenever we're like, let's get some cheese, but again, it was gorgeous. And the final cheese was a blue cheese. Now we don't really eat blue cheese ever, and funny enough, I'd been talking to my mum the previous day about how disgusting blue cheese usually is. So we apprehensively cut a little piece and had a nibble, and it probably turned out to be our favourite. So tasty, it was so good. And the whole these cheeses came together then with like these little crackers and chutney and jam. So it was like a raspberry and vanilla jam, and we were tasting that with the brie. Ended up tasting like cake. It was amazing because the brie was so creamy. And then the other one was a chutney, which was pineapple and I think it was habanero, or it was chili anyway, maybe jalapeno. Yeah, it was lush. It was so good. So we had that, and we drank wine, and we watched Amelie, and we were laughing because we were like, how pretentious did it sound? We got up, we had chocolate pans and pastries for breakfast. We had cheese and wine and grapes, and then we watched a French film. It was lovely though, it was so nice. The only thing I would say is because of the amount of cheese that we ate, the wine did nothing. You know, we obviously got a little tipsy. We drank 2 bottles of wine, so a bottle of wine between us, a bottle of wine each, I should say, and had a cheeky beer, and then sort of went off to bed, and we're like, oh, there we go. So yesterday when we got up, jokingly, I was like, well, I said, I've got no hangover whatsoever. I feel absolutely fine. May as well have a few beers today. And so we had a nice chilled out day. We hadn't seen the girls much on Saturday. So we watched Good Will Hunting, which I'd never seen before, yesterday, Sunday. And had a few gins, which, again, I think we got to a point where we were like, you know, this is nice enough now. We don't need to get hammered. There's no point in doing anything like that. We got the girls down and we watched Jumanji together, the more recent one, or not the most recent one, but the first of the rock ones. We love that film. Great fun, really good fun. It was perfect end because last week, without going into too much detail, was awful. I mean, going into the week, I knew it was going to be a bit bad anyway because of some of the things that we have to do. There's a lot of things that would tie me to my desk. Usually with my role, I'm very lucky. I can flutter about, I can help with the homeschooling, I can help bring shopping in, I can even go shopping and come back and make my time up and things like that. But on this particular week, which is going to happen every month, I can't. I've got a series of calls and I have to be online for them. So I knew coming into the week, it was going to be a toughie. I knew it. But it got, there were a few things that happened which exasperated it and just made it into a fucking awful week, to be honest. So it was nice when we got to the weekend. The other thing that's pretty cool now is that we're off for this week. We took a week off My girls are off school, so there's no homeschooling going on this week. So what we've decided is to spend the time redecorating our bedroom. Back when we got the attic converted, the girls used to be in a bedroom together, and what we ended up doing was we got the attic converted. We moved our oldest daughter up into that room once it was all lovely painted, new floor and everything like that. And then we actually swapped bedrooms then with our youngest daughter. So she took what used to be our bedroom and we took what used to be hers and her sister's bedroom. But again, when we moved my youngest daughter into her room, we spent the time painting the walls, redecorating it, getting it all lovely, so it looked amazing. We did nothing in what used to be the girls' bedroom where we are now. When we got the attic converted, the ceiling, there was a few marks and holes where the boards have been secured, some of the plaster had cracked. The walls have still got a few odd posters of, well done, being in school without taking any time off this term, or great job and all that. And even some of the shelves on the wall have got some of the girls' old teddies and things. So our room's never really been a bedroom. It's just felt like our bed shoved into what used to be the girls' bedroom. So we've decided enough is enough. We're going to get it all done nice, and we're going to put a nice TV up on the wall. We're going to move the bed around. We're repainting the whole room. So that's the plan this week. Get some nice new furniture and things like that. So finally get our room the way we want it. And hopefully it won't take too long. Fingers crossed. I'm sure I'll be able to give you guys an update next time I do one of these videos. But I'm hoping that today, being Monday now, we can get stuck in nice and early, start kicking ass, go and get the paint, and get stuck in relatively quick. I think the painting side of it shouldn't take too long. I probably jinxed myself here, but shouldn't take too long. Once we've got it painted, I'm going to try and do an undercover today, an undercoat, because the walls are a kind of dark purple, and we're going to go dark green, almost black. We want a dark bedroom. So we're going to do a white undercoat. If we can get a white undercoat done on all the walls today, amazing. And then we'd like to get some new furniture, which we'll need to build, and I want to fasten to the wall. So I want to try and get things so they're not all over, on the floor. Try and get more cupboard space and sort of lift things up a little bit. So that's the plan. Meanwhile, the book, yeah, I mean, I've done so much more work on the book recently, and once I finish this video here, I'm going to make myself another cup of tea and then do a bit more work. But yeah, I finished off the sort of Facebook bits where people shared their greatest strengths and greatest challenges of having Dystonia with me. Formatted all of them, got them all nice and laid out. And then I was kind of writing a summarization at the end of the book, just saying, sort of reflecting back. And as I was working on it, I kind of shifted and started sort of talking a little bit about the process. And I thought, well, I'll briefly write about the process and some behind the scenes, because there's things I didn't share in the videos, and in reflection, looking overall at what I had to do to get this to work, I don't think it's completely clear. I'm sure, you can sort of imagine, but even things like trying to coordinate messages from multiple people coming in emails, in private messages in Facebook, in private messages in Instagram, in replies to posts on the wall, in multiple groups on Facebook, in replies to posts on Instagram at the same time, plus the number of emails coming in, and trying to make sure that I replied to every person that got in touch with me, and also trying to ensure that I didn't miss any of the stories. And yeah, but anyway, I mean, I go into a lot of detail about those sorts of things. It might be a bit boring, so what I've done is I've stuck it at the end of the book. If anyone's interested in finding out a little bit more about the process that I went through, it's there. Otherwise, you can stop reading once you get to maybe the glossary, or depending where I stick things. But yeah, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to go in now. I'm going to look through the glossary, try and split that out a little bit. And then I will start looking at getting that first print done then, you know, the draft print. And that'll give me an idea of how I want the book to look. You know, whether I go with the main Warriors of Dystonia logo as the front cover and things like that. I probably will. I think it's become something now that it's almost like a brand image that people recognise. And yeah. So, right, I'm going to go and sit down for a bit now. It's not actually that early, it's actually 6:15, which is pretty late for me. Oh, and finally, my beard is my new project as well. Much to my wife's disgust. As anyone that knows me now and has watched these videos and seen what I don't do things by half. And I like having a beard. My wife likes me having a beard, but probably, well, I know, much smaller. But it started to grow, and I was like, yeah, this is cool, okay. And yeah, now it's kind of got to a point where it's getting quite big, and I'm going to continue for a while. What else are you going to do with lockdown? I can't get outside, it's too cold, so may as well grow a massive beard. Let me know what you think of the beard. That's the most important part of this video. Back me up. My wife says it's ridiculous, so it's not ridiculous, is it? Take care.